Hey everybody, this is Alan Fine, and I am here with the power team that is behind Sea Cloud Cruises in North America. We're here with Morel Reyes, right?
Yes.
CEO North America, and Kevin Smith, Chief Sales Officer, also North America. And we're here to talk about Sea Cloud, and specifically this ship that we're on, Sea Cloud Spirit, and how it's going to take over North America with your help. And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report. So you guys are spearheading the growth in North America for Sea Cloud, and so that's what I want to make sure that the travel advisors understand that. So, Morel, you were the first hire, and you opened the office in Florida. Tell us about that.
Yes. So, funny enough, so 2023 in July, I was the first employee myself, and then I had the pleasure to employ Kevin as back in the day VP of Sales, just now promoted to Chief Sales Officer. Very proud of that. And then we went from there. I mean, we added up, the team in reservations. We added in marketing, of course, very important because when we started, obviously our headquarters is in Germany, very European product, everything was kind of German based and German language. So one of the first things we had to do is really dive into marketing, create marketing material for the Americas, for our market that people can understand. So I actually ended up doing 2 brochures in the first year.
But tell us about the mindset. So if someone over there had to say, you know what, we need you to get us over there. How did that come together?
Yeah, I think it's pretty simple because Sea Cloud Cruises, back in the day, they were very much focused on charter business, right? So over 60% actually was charter business, and then they filled up the rest with FIT. However, when they added on the Sea Cloud Spirit, the beautiful ship we are on right now, with 136 passengers, we doubled our capacity. So that's when
in Europe, you got to expand.
Exactly. That's when the need came in to expand into those markets, and here we are.
Okay. You came aboard. What was the opportunity that you saw?
Well, I mean, Alan, just knowing the history of the company, where we could go into the marketplace, how we could be so different, provide something that's unique, immersive, and is a one-of-a-kind cruise line, in my opinion and Morel's opinion, that the industry's craving. They just don't know about it yet. So, I mean, I think our first year we had 60-something advisors on board. This year we're doubling that. So we're getting out, we're getting the advisors on board. We know how important that is. Yeah. So ask for our travel advisor rates, please. Stay at look for our FAM opportunities as well. I mean, once you get on, we kind of set the hook, right? You get on, you get to see the differences. You get to see the true beauty of being under sail on a tall ship that nobody else can really deliver this type of experience.
I was going to ask you all about that, but you brought it up. So, and this way they don't tune out without hearing it. What are the deals?
So right now we're in the marketplace. We have our early bird discount for 2026. I'm kind of stealing some of Morel's thunder here because she was the brains behind this great program put in place. But I think what we look into is what we do with our partners. So we always say we don't need to be best friends with everybody. We need a few best friends that truly understand us. So what we've done in the marketplace is we find the advisors and the agencies that truly want to work with us, and we create a business plan that works for them. So we have negotiated different group contracts. Like our group contract that's out in the marketplace right now is a simple 1 for 3. So you sell 3 cabins, you're earning your TC there. So there's so much more than just this is what your client's getting for the price. It's really what we have done for the advisors behind the scenes that truly makes working with us simple, easy, understandable. And once they start booking, it's amazing how they start calling back. They learn our online system. They're calling into our res department. It's a simple transaction.
And the percentages are good.
Well, I mean, if you're in Virtuoso, you're making 17%. We have a 2% bonus commission right now for them that raises it to 19%. Signature's getting 17%. And again, everything's an ICB. So if you're not part of that network and you want to work with us, come to us. Let us understand your business. We're here to support you. At the end of the day, our success rides on your coattails. So if we can work with as many advisors that are interested, it only helps us at the end to get this company to where we want to be.
So you can tune out now, but don't, because one of the first things you guys decided to do was make it an all-inclusive product because you think that, I mean, that's a North American thing. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so for us, that was a given. When we started, we looked at the brand and how we want to position it in the luxury market. I mean, we didn't even think twice about it. We said we have to go all-inclusive. And the way we did it is in 2 steps. So we started, with adding in the open bar first, and then end of last year, November, we added in the shore excursions as well. So now we're truly all-inclusive, and I think it's crucial. If we want to play in this market with the other cruise lines around, that's what we had to do.
I found it interesting that you're straddling because the European market doesn't have that all-inclusive.
Yeah, it's a different approach over there. Also, we have to say they have been in the market for a very long time. And again, going back what I initially said, a lot of charter business, really not so much FIT, so the approach was different. But for us, it's like, FIT bookings, we want to work with the travel agents. We need to make that, a product that works in our market. And lucky enough for us, and they hired obviously the right people, they trust us with our, opinion.
And so how are you, now you're trying to make the product good for both regions. What are the things you're doing? I mean, all-inclusive was one. What else?
So, I mean, this is kind of a learning curve, so to say. We're now, we had 1 full year in 2024, right? So we're now approaching the 2nd year, and we had made changes in between. I think what it comes down to is, funny enough, most of the time food, because we learned that it's very different expectations when it comes to a German guest, like when it comes to an American guest. So those are the areas we're working on to bring this closer together, and that we can see already a lot of improvements from our end here, and also understanding, because it's a lot about communicating what the expectations are, from our guests, from our travel advisors, to place this product. And that's why when Kevin said we had, X amount of advisors on board, last year, and now we're doing it again, this is what's crucial to us, because we need to get the feedback so we can continue evolving with this product. But again, it's not going to all happen tomorrow, but we have been working on it and will continue to do so.
But as you're seeing in the pictures that we're showing you look at the food, and not only does it look great, but you could see the two regions merging. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So, we had an existing culinary program. Morel and I came on board and kind of added to it, right? One of the things that we have on board is a well-traveled guest. They are on board because we float in 18 to 19 feet of water, and we go to different destinations. Today we were next to Michael Jordan's yacht, right? And there's no cruise ships here today. But we were able to go out with a group that went out and did a wine tasting, and that's something that the German market wants, and that's something that the North American market wants. So what we've done is we've cultivated these trips that have...
That's the key word, cultivate.
Yeah. Exactly.
You have cultivated journeys. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, we have, we're on a cultivated journey. Yeah. So, but it's something that the every market wants. So it's just appealing to everybody. Again, it goes back to that well-traveled client that's looking for an immersive experience into the destination. And how do we do this, right? And how do we tell those stories? So you look at, right off the bat, we started working with the Hillwood, right? So Marjorie's property in DC. Now, our previous guests know the history of the vessel. So the fact that they have the ability to come on and listen to a guest lecture, and the good news is about the European market, they all pretty much speak English, right? So they're able to sit into the lectures that we provide. But it just added to our scope and our vision across the board. So it's not so much that we're doing things just for the North American market. We're trying to make it more appealing and just more in-depth for the global product.
So this cultivated journey we're on now, give it an introduction, because later you're going to see an interview with these three, it's like the three musketeers of food.
Yeah, so we have Mario on board. He's a restaurant owner. We have his head chef, Claudio's on board. And then we have our sommelier that's for our company, Neil's on board. And they've just been phenomenal with the guests. They've been leading shore excursions. I believe you went on one of the shore excursions, which you'll see beautiful pictures of. Through a back alleyway into a gorgeous veranda, just looking over the pier. Absolutely stunning. But It's all about the surprise and delight moments. Right?
They're a hoot. So wait till you see that interview.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next thing I wanted to say was that Sea Cloud, the original Sea Cloud, 1931 classic, is going to be dry docked. So tell us about that, please.
Yeah, so last cruise for Sea Cloud is going to be in October this year. And
So book before that. Okay.
it's sold out.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry.
Sorry to get you all excited.
Yeah. Yeah, so it has been sold out for quite some time. Obviously, the Sea Cloud only has 64 guests on board, so it's half of what we have on this vessel here. And it's going to be a different kind of dry dock, so it's not the regular dry dock all ships have to go through. It's about kind of recreating and going back to her original state. So depending on how familiar you are with the ship, but we added on, a couple of cabins on top of this vessel, and we're gonna take them all away. We're gonna take them all away, and we're
back to its original.
Yes, and we're gonna focus on the original cabins that we already have, and then a couple of others, and extend them in size, and then we're gonna try to bring back something like the smoker's parlor we had on board to really, really go back to the original Sea Cloud, and also in size. So we're going to talk when she comes back, half of the size, that we have now, which then...
More luxury.
More luxury, so it's going to be taking it up a notch on that vessel, and also more flexibility when it comes to destination ports and all that, because it's not obviously the same rules and policies for a smaller vessel like that. So very exciting.
But you also think of the clients that are doing those private yacht experiences, and they need a buddy boat because there's 20 people going. This gives them the opportunity to all go to bed at the same time on the same boat. It's something that this marketplace doesn't really have, right? So that passenger count's going to be just another addition into a great group space or a charter option for clients.
Well, that's exactly what I want to talk about. For the travel advisor that's savvy, they know that they do the same amount of work and make much more money on a group. Let's talk about groups for a moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, like I said, the group promotion is essentially 3 cabins. Double occupancy makes a group. You earn your TC there. We are a small vessel, so we do cap our group allotments and our TCs. But again, work with us, call the reservations team, reach out to any one of our staff members, and we can take a look at inventory, see what the options are. But the beauty behind us, and when you get on board, you see how well we all work with one another. It's you call in reservations, open up to your group, morale and the marketing team help with the assets that the advisors need. So we have this flyer that basically can come out with any customizable piece if you want to do a postcard, if you want to do a digital ad, whatever the case may be. And then you have myself and the team that's going out to assist on group nights, get us into the yacht clubs. There's nothing, we won't say no. I make more money when I say yes and I'm visible, right? So at any opportunity that you're putting us to work and you have that ability to grow your business, ask us. If we can make it work with our schedules, we'll be there for you to assist.
I usually say it for the end, but you're talking about it. How to contact you? What should they do to get these tools? What's the URL?
Yeah, so obviously just visit seacloudcruises.com. My cell phone number is on my email address. My email address is ksmith@seacloudcruises.com. My cell phone number, majority of everybody has it. If you don't have it and you want it here, it's 818-530-6979. You can text me, you can call me, whatever's the easiest. It's just a fast way to get a hold of us. We're a small team, but we're a very mighty team.
We should have had a sound effect, the phone start ringing.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right, so now I want to talk to you about your description of your 3 ships as unicorns. Tell us why.
So when we started in this market, we were trying to find like a hook, or what is this about this product? And obviously the Sea Cloud, the original Sea Cloud, has a lot of history that is tied to North America because of Marjorie Merriweather Post being the first owner back in 1931. And that's actually how, when we opened the office, a lot of people came to us and said, hey, we have heard about the Sea Cloud and we know about Marjorie and, General Foods relations. So what are you guys doing now? So it was like a door opener for us. And then we thought about it, and because we are so different, and I always love the fact when, I'm together with my fellow colleagues from other cruise lines, and the question comes up, how do you differentiate yourself? For me, it's the perfect question. I know everyone else hates it. I love it because we call ourselves unicorns at sea. So what is a unicorn? A unicorn is a legendary creature with magical powers. So legendary because of the original Sea Cloud and all our history there, and our magical powers are our sails that are up until today still raised by hand. 22 crew members climbing up the mast, and we've seen it, right?
I'm
it's just
I'm showing you as you talk about it.
okay.
And how many sails are there in the trivia contest?
28.
Right.
28, 44,100 square feet of sails. And this is just something that sets us apart. So whenever that question comes, we love it because we are clearly different.
Also, it's good to know that you look over all the comment cards and tell us about that process, please.
So what we love to do, that's kind of Kevin and my thing, when the comment cards come in, to just see who are our guests, because obviously we opened this office, we inherited some kind of a very tiny database, and we're like, so where are our guests coming from? And we have a lot of crossover from other high-end luxury brands, a lot river cruise too, but we also have many non-cruisers that would say this is our first cruise. We never thought about a cruise ship, but then we looked at your itineraries and they're just so different, right? And most of our itineraries, they don't repeat, which is also something that sets us apart. So we don't do those 7-night rotations back to back, back to back. And on the other hand, we always have to be very creative to come up with something new. Like for 2026, for the first time, we're going to the Azores, which will be a complete new destination for us. But you want to add a little bit to it, Kevin?
Do you have any other new destinations as well?
Well, so going back to the comment card, sorry, just because it's such a tool, right? And I mean, if you're an advisor out there and you have a guest come on, let us know, right? The more we know, the more we can fix, right? Like, you got to be as good as you can possibly be. So the comment cards are our lifeline, but they're also a good tool for us to use as salespeople, right? So an advisor gets on and their client comes on and has a great time and says, I want to go here next. Yeah. At that point, we have the ability to reach back out to the advisor and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones were on. They love the Mediterranean. They didn't know we went to the Caribbean, and they're dying to experience an overnight in St. Bart's, right? So using those comment cards as a tool to grow our sales on both sides of the table is a huge win for
Because you're flexible.
that's what we do.
Yeah. And I think what sets us apart too, although we have a small team, but our team and our approach is very personal. So the people I have in the office talking to the guests, so when we are through with it, we're handing the comment cards over, and then they make call outs like old-fashioned style, just how was your vacation, what did you like, what didn't you like. And again, it goes both ways, because if I get no feedback, what am I going to do? I want the feedback no matter what it is, because that has helped us to make necessary adjustments moving forward, and then again doing like another sale moving forward with the guests that were on board and want to go somewhere else. And one thing I want to say, we would never leave out our travel advisors. So whoever they book through the next cruise, same thing. We are not cutting corners here. We need our travel advisor community to work with us, and we love you guys.
So you get them on here once, and it's the gift that keeps giving.
Right.
100%.
Exactly.
So we're essentially done, but the other people I'm interviewing aren't going to know the ship as well as you are, and I have all of this B-roll that we have to show because it's so gorgeous. Yes. The brass is so... this is the cleanest ship. It's the most spick and span ship I've ever been on, and I've been on a lot. Yeah. So let's talk about room categories. Let me show some rooms, please.
So the basic category, what I would say, is category D. It's our standard. It has portholes, so every cabin we have on board or staterooms are outside cabins. So there's no inside cabin whatsoever. And I think one big thing is we do have 25 cabins with balconies, and that's huge. On a sailboat, that's really, I don't know any other company, nobody else. And then in addition to that, we have 7 cabins with panoramic windows that you can open. So that's the main
But I think when you're talking about Sea Cloud cruises and you're an advisor and you're trying to explain this to a client and they've done the river cruise thing, we're not 1,200 square feet. We don't want clients to sit in their staterooms all day long. There's too much going on our deck space. And the beauty is you're not getting in an elevator, running around with a bunch of crowds. You're legitimately 13 steps from any place to outside on board this vessel. So you can get up to the sun deck. The beauty of the vessel is, in my opinion, the Lido deck. I consider that to be the heart of the vessel. Everybody's always sitting out there. We have the sun deck. The crew is always trimming a sail. There's just, you leave here with 1,000 photos in your phone of just things going on, or sunset pictures, or people playing with ropes, or the chefs preparing the meals. There's just so many specialty moments that you don't get on an ocean liner that's a typical cruise
There
line.
isn't a bad picture taken.
There's not a bad picture. Yeah,
They're all
everybody's an
Instagrammable.
artist on board, right? Everybody's an artist.
Right? No, it's true. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, I want to add the spa because
Yes.
honestly, when I stepped on board of this ship for the first
huge.
time, it's huge.
How'd you fit it in there?
See, that's what I was so impressed, and it's so nice, and it has lights, so it's not, sometimes it's like down. Exactly. Didn't want to say it, but that's what it is. And then the gym that is on top. Right, and you have like panoramic windows while we're on your treadmill or your
It's the
elliptical.
most crow's nest like gym I've ever.
I know.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just all the common areas. And I think when you're talking to your clients, stress when you're talking to your clients about this opportunity, stress the space to guest ratio that your clients have. Because even though we're a small ship, we're actually a large ship. And the passenger count of 136, you don't feel like you're crammed in, ever.
Beautiful flowers every day.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't
Fresh
it?
flowers.
Yeah.
How do you do it? All right. I don't. Is there anything else you can think of? We're going out to 128,000 travel advisors, and they are looking for new products, especially in the luxury category.
Yeah, so I think when you're talking to the new client, it's really important for the advisors to tell their clients, hey, if you're not comfortable with this, ask the why, right? Like, what's setting you apart? Why are you worried about, trying something new? Once we get the whys and we can address those for the clients is when we can really start showing our value. One of our huge whys is our crew, because our crew is phenomenal. I mean, once you come on one time, you're coming back. Anton's going to know you right away. The wait staff in the kitchen's going to recognize you and welcome you home. At the end of the day, we're a family-run company, and you feel that. I'm on Instagram with the crew, and we have a crew member that lives in Finland, and she's in the Philippines right now visiting her friends that work on board. I mean, there's something to be said for that. It's hard to bottle those type of moments and put them on board the ship.
Well, good luck. I know we're going to help you get some. The travel advisors in North America are going to be interested, and so thank you for hosting me. Thank you. It's been a great trip.
Alan,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
It was
for
a
coming
pleasure.
on board.
Thank you so much.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.